Chris, what is our third main topic today?
This is from Adam Ricketts. It's showtime. Possibly. News hit that the second Beetlejuice movie has been resurrected at WB, with Brad Pitt and his production company reportedly producing, as well as the return of Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Adam. And yeah, listen, there has been talk for years now about them trying to do a Beetlejuice 2. Actually, I remember when I was still at like AMC Movie Talk, I remember us doing a story about, oh, no, now they're really doing, because I think Winona Ryder said something at the time, and they got everybody excited and all that kind of stuff, and they thought a Beetlejuice 2 was going to come about. Then about 6 months later, I think Tim Burton came out and said, yeah, no, it's not happening. We tried to get it going. We couldn't get it happening. So that kind of killed that. Well, now here we are, fast forward numbers more years later, and it looks like the Beetlejuice sequel may just be still alive and may have a chance of actually living. This comes from the folks over at Deadline who write the following. Brad Pitt's production company, Plan B, has boarded Beetlejuice 2. Deadline has confirmed, bringing a new sense of life to a project that has long been in the works at Warner Brothers. The sequel remains in early development, with the script yet to be written. No other attachments have been disclosed at this time. I want to point that out too, because in the message, and I'm seeing some people online saying, yeah, Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton are attached. Well, according to the official report coming from Deadline, they're saying actually, no, they don't know of anybody else being attached. Doesn't mean they won't be, but as of right now, it doesn't look like they are attached. For now. No other attachments have been disclosed at this time. Beetlejuice is a classic film from director Tim Burton, in which the spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home, hiring a malicious spirit of the same name to drive them out. Michael Keaton played the title role in the original with Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder. What a cast. And more rounding out the cast. So, it seems like, once again, Brad Pitt, just like he did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt coming to the rescue and maybe getting something going with the Beetlejuice 2. I'm going to give you a hot take. This ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And it's the exact same feeling, and I was absolutely right when they were talking about another Matrix, and I told everybody it ain't going to work. It's not going to make money. And everybody told me I was ridiculous and said that movie's going to be $1 billion film and all kind of stuff. I am telling you, this is way past its expiration date. I mean, there was a time when I think you could have done another Beetlejuice. There absolutely was a time, not too terribly long ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. But you can do everything you want to get this up and running. It ain't going to work. This will be a box office flop. You might make it well, especially if you can get Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, and if you can get all of them back, you might make it good. I just don't think it's going to be. And I can already hear it. Everybody's going to say the same thing they told me when I said Matrix wouldn't work. You don't understand how popular this is. You don't understand how many people love this thing. I get it. I do. But when an expiration date passes on a bottle of milk, no matter how much you believe in that milk, you shouldn't drink it. And I'm telling you that another Beetlejuice movie right now will not do well. So I think this is a mistake, but I think it can be good, especially if Brad Pitt and Plan B are going to be behind it. You can make something good. I just think if I'm a movie executive, I don't give it a green light. Rob, they're talking about maybe Brad Pitt coming along, saving the day with Plan B Productions and making another Beetlejuice. If you're an executive, you bullish on this? You like this idea? What do you think?
John, I'll take your Matrix Resurrections and I will raise you a Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
And I would say I greenlight this today, tomorrow, and 4 ways till Sunday, because this is a comedy. It's going to be comedy, and it's going to be funny as F. Funny AF. I'm telling you, Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Here's the problem. Kids today, people today, we need Beetlejuice. We need that kind of anarchy in our comedy again. We need this kind of off-the-wall craziness. We need the kind of bizarre unreality of Beetlejuice. I think that, my God, does Gen Z need Beetlejuice to come in and show them what's up?
And you think this will make big money at the box office?
Huge.
All right.
Huge money. I greenlight it. I greenlight it. And, And you know what they're going to do? They're going to remember the Winona Ryder character and come on, Deo and all that. This movie was hilarious.
Oh, it
it holds
great.
up, and the weird surrealism and Tim Burton-esque. The only question is if they bring Tim Burton back, does he still have what it takes to make this movie?
I don't believe for a second that Tim Burton comes back to do it.
Maybe he does, but I mean, this could be the creed.
I wouldn't bet,
of the
I wouldn't
Beetlejuice
bet
universe.
against it. I wouldn't bet against it, but my guess is they probably bring
Plus,
a new
this
director.
movie's not going to be expensive. You know, because it doesn't have to have realistic effects. It can be the crazy, weird Rick Heinrichs design puppets and
Well, and
craziness.
other than World War Z, which I think was also a Plan B thing, has Plan B really done anything super high budget? I mean, I think World War Z might be the most expensive thing they've done.
Maybe.
Because they've done things like, I think they did 12 Years a Slave, and they did, I think they did Underground Railroad, and they did something, but things that were not super micro budgets, but I don't think they spend a ton of money. So you're probably right about that.
Yeah, I mean, and look, only because like Ghostbusters Afterlife worked pretty well, and this is going to be
Absolutely.
cheaper than that. And I could see the idea that there's yet another family that moves into a place that's being haunted, and I could see this really working. And they weren't they going to make like Beetlejuice in Hawaii?
That was kind
Or
of the
something
idea.
a long time ago. I mean, I would love to see. Look, I think another Beetlejuice movie now of all these ridiculously creative bankrupt IPs that they're going to resurrect from the. I mean, the IPs aren't bankrupt. The creative idea to just resurrect your catalog. I think this could work.
All right, just as a point of reference, does anybody in here know how much Ghostbusters Afterlife made at the box office worldwide?
200 million.
It made under 200 million. Not far. It made 190 something $1 million worldwide. Key to it though that you brought up, is they made it for $44 million. They kept the budget really low, but I mean, I don't think anybody's going to call a sub $200 million movie a huge giant hit.
No, but it tripled its budget,
Quadrupled
quadrupled its budget. I mean, that's a win.
its production budget. So it was profitable.
Yeah.
Maybe Beetlejuice can do the same thing. Chris, you see this? What do you think? Do you think, number one, let's start with the bigger question I didn't ask you. Number one, do you think this will actually happen? I mean, they're on board, but no studio said they're greenlighting it, but it's in development. Number one, do you think it'll happen? And number two, if it does, what do you think about it?
I mean, I don't want to believe anything is set in stone until a movie is actually in theaters, frankly. I say that as an actor who, you sign on to things sometimes and they get canceled before production, in the middle of production, or hey, you find out at the end of the day, this is a totally different movie now, or you're not even in it. But all that said, if it does get made, I'm all for it. I'm with Rob. I think this would be so fun, especially if you take it to kind of like a Drop Dead Fred place and it's older Winona, right? Dealing with Beetlejuice again.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be really fun. I think having Tim Burton produce this and allowing another director to come in here and explore this kind of gothic world we have going on, particularly exploring the other intricacies of the afterlife, because that kind of weird bureaucratic system they had is so fun to explore. So much cool stuff can be delved in there. And if you bring on Keaton and O'Hara, come on.
I mean, look
That
after
is-
Schitt's Creek.
Yes, that is comedy fried gold right there, my friend. How could you not greenlight that if they're signed on? If they want to do
Because they
it.
want to make money. But you bring up a great question I was going to ask next. Okay, so y'all got some big enthusiasm for this, thinking this thing can work. It won't, but thinking it can. Let's change the parameters a little bit, though. The Deadline article says that nobody else is attached yet. Can you still make another Beetlejuice movie if it's not Michael Keaton?
No.
No, I wouldn't want it.
Just straight up flat. Yeah, I think that would become very problematic. I think it becomes problematic. But you think it's absolutely got to be Michael Keaton in there, or else there's really no point in doing it.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I don't want to see another Beetlejuice.
But if it is Michael Keaton, you're 100% on board.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's really interesting about where Michael Keaton is in his career? Like, we always talk about the Renaissance.
That
the
he's
Renaissance.
awesome.
He's awesome. And I think if you look at the breadth of his performances, from Dope Sick to what he did in the
That he just
Protégé,
won a SAG for.
that he won the SAG for, to the Protégé, I mean, he's just crushing it. And I think, he's a guy, if you ever see him speak on talk shows, he's such a humble guy. And I think he's kind of not bemused, but really grateful that people still like to see him. I mean, this would be, I think this movie would make a lot of money because you've got the nostalgia factor. And if you can give it that anarchic anarchic? Is it anarchy? I see. How's that word pronounced? You know, that spirit. We need that today. And I think that if this was good, I think people would flock to this. It has to be better than something like Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America.
Oh, don't remind me.
Can't do that. You got to make sure that this is it's got to be good.
I'm thinking this movie makes 125 million total tops.
I think you're
I hope so.
underestimating.
I hope so, because I do think it can be good. I do think it can be good. I really think it's far
If
too
this
late.
movie's really funny, if they make this movie and it's really funny, it could make a lot of money.
Fingers crossed. But I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong on that one. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this story? Let's start from the beginning. Number one, are you interested in it at all if it's not Michael Keaton? If it is, what do you think? Will this movie actually get made? If so, can it actually be successful? Whatever you guys are feeling about it right now, jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts.